My name is Abbas Impindi. I work as the CEO of Media Challenge Initiative. We are organizing the Media Challenge Expo 2022. We've been organizing this since 2017, bringing journalists, media experts, academicians, journalism students mainly, because we work with them to discuss the future of journalism and also to find the solutions to the different challenges we face as an industry. Every year we have a theme. So previous years we've had climate change, reporting about refugees, reporting about women. This year we're putting a full focus on public service delivery reporting, and we want to engage journalists on how to hold leaders accountable on reporting about on public services. And at the end of the day, we expect that journalists have skills, knowledge, awareness on how to approach coverage of different public services in their communities, not just at the national level, at the local level, at the sub-county, parish, village level, so that we know who to talk to when we need water, right? We know who to talk to when we need certain things in our communities that are not going well, or even we know who to highlight or spotlight when we have things going well in those communities. Every day, journalists cover different public services. So be it education, sports, but there's a big concentration on politics. Each and everything being politicized, you lose the nuance or the bigger picture in covering or focusing on education or health or industries or roads, for example. So we want to go deeper with journalists to say there's something beyond just going to an event and covering a conference or stories about education results, but we could do a deeper dive into how this as a public service is being, implemented, and what journalists need to do about it. Solutions journalism, we encourage it, we promote it, we skill young journalists, and we also think and believe that it will be good for different media houses at different levels. One, because our communities are looking for responses. In life, no one wakes up every day to ask for problems. No one wakes up to go in the news to look for a problem. Everyone wants something that is working, a response to the problems they're dealing with. And we advocate and we encourage that newsrooms and schools can look at this side as well and see how they can incorporate solutions, so that on a daily, as long as we see certain problems happening, we also see individuals who are trying to solve those problems. And we also learn how they are solving the problem. Rights and freedoms of journalists continue to be abused on a daily. We as an organization, we stand with journalists on a daily to make sure that one, journalists understand their rights in the process. Two, they have the skills it takes to defend themselves, but also they have some sort of legal support where we work with HRNJ to make sure that when there's something going on against a journalist, they understand their rights and they know where to go. So we do believe in the fact that journalists play a critical role in the running of different public services. And if they don't have the freedom to do that, to cover stories about different services, then even the local person will not be able to get the relevant information because the journalist doesn't have access to that information. So for me, or for us, media freedom is not just beating or jailing a journalist, which should be castigated. It's denying them information, right? If you are denied very important information about specific services, that's also an abuse to media freedom as well.
My name is Dan Ayebale from Solutions Now Africa. Solutions Now Africa is an online publication that does solutions journalism only. We are solutions-oriented platform. So we've done this for a full year, and we think doing this kind of journalism will help to shift the narrative about Africa, the narratives about corruption, the narratives about hunger, the narratives about poverty. We think telling the positive stories can help in shifting these narratives. As a person, I've been able to train with DW Academy as a constructive journalist. There's an ongoing fellowship that picked 15 journalists from Africa that is training us about doing constructive journalism. But briefly, to give you a difference between solutions journalism and constructive, it is that for solutions journalism, we just cover what is working. Constructive journalism requires you to cover the nuance as well, and also start conversations that can help change, that can help facilitate change, I mean. So basically that. When I joined journalism school, I thought I would also be doing these problem-centered stories because that's what I was taught. But for me to be able to flip my way of thinking as a journalist and start covering solutions has been one of the great experiences, because I had to unlearn some things and relearn other things to be able to tell solution stories very well. I've been able to meet amazing people. I've been able to talk to people who are doing great things in this country. I've been able to see for my own self where things are working. And at least right now I know, as a person, if you ask me, I wouldn't tell you that everything is not working in Uganda like any other journalist would tell you. There are things that are working, and it's us to amplify them to the public and our audiences. I was introduced to solutions journalism by Abbas Mpindi when I was the Media Challenge Fellowship in 2020. So when Abbas introduced me to that, I'm here introducing it to you and all other journalists that are there. I'm very sure that where they go, or even the stories they're doing, will be about solutions journalism. So people who watch these stories will know about solutions journalism. So the point I'm trying to make is that we are amplifying this whole idea slowly by slowly. Everyone is telling about each other about solutions journalism, and it's just a matter of time where you will find that solutions journalism is also taken up by main newsrooms. The likes of BBC are already doing solutions stories. If you have been watching their stories, the likes of DW are doing solutions documentaries. So it is a wave that is really strong, and I guarantee you that in a few years you will see newsrooms here in Uganda start desks for solutions journalism only. You enter a newsroom and there's a desk that is only for solutions journalists. Like you could go to a newsroom and you find a health journalism desk, an investigative journalism desk. I think editors are starting to understand that solutions journalism is one of the solutions to news avoidance, since these young people are no longer watching the 9 p.m. news because of the stuff that is going on there, because of the stories that are told there, because man, sometimes you may lose hope and think that everything in this Uganda and the world is going south, and yet people are doing great things.
So tell your story to a wider audience, and I can tell you that through our networks, many people across the world will get to see the stories. So it also matters what kind of stories you tell and how you portray the stories in your country, because what MCI is trying to do and what we as CAS are also trying to do, we want to tell positive stories out there about Uganda to attract people like Christian Lindfeld, for example, to come and to get an interest in different sectors here. Dr. Christian Lindfeld came, for example, to look into the startup ecosystem here because he saw good stories coming from Uganda. So please be ambassadors of your country, of the stories that are out here, and we will be happy to watch them. Thank you.